Hi, this is Jackie Zaccoli. Thank you so much for being here this evening. I am so delighted that you are part of the group that we have started who is focusing on unleashing the brilliance of women. Leadership Conference. I'm Jackie Zaccoli, and I am known as a word of mouth strategist, also as an influence broker, as well as a global collaborator. And I am so excited to see you here this evening. And I hope that you, as we are anticipating a full day on the 25th, filled with all kinds of speakers that are doing all different types of things of their expertise to show you different ways of doing things, different tips and techniques, as well as showing the brilliance of women in various fields, panels and speakers, not to mention having a nice breakfast and lunch. So I'm so glad that you're with us to make this whole thing even more beautiful. So let's start out, first of all, by finding out who you are. So we're going to go around. If you'll just introduce yourself by first your first name, your full name, that's fine, and your business, and then why you are at the vendor part of unleashing the brilliance of women. So let's go along to the top row. Thank you all so much for being here and telling us who you are. And so, as we go in, I want you to realize that there are often various things that happen at a vendor fair. Number one, what happens is you spend a lot of time getting there and paying for it and preparing your booth, so on and so forth. And it seems to be a lot of money. Maybe by the time you get through, you found people that thought your booth was so nice. And this was a visitor, a tourist attraction. They didn't buy anything. So you go home and go, is this worth it? Well, you know what happened is that you didn't start this whole thing with the right thought in mind. It's all about mindset. Everything's about mindset. So I would like our mindset to be different from what is going to be sold and I'm going to make money on. That's definitely not the reason that you're there, even though some of you did speak about that. I definitely want you to realize the reason that you're there is to build relationships. So it's to have commonalities based on commonalities and the feelings that you are approaching or you are tagging or you are involving in your audience so that they want to come in and be part of your world. So commonality and feelings are a very basic part of what you're doing here as a vendor. So now that you know what your actual purpose is, I want you to consider that the first thing you're going to do is to try to engage your audience, is to engage your audience and then build on that engagement. So let's think how we're going to do that engagement. Everything that you do is based on feelings. We buy from people we know, like, and trust versus someone saying, buy from me. It's word of mouth that actually get things sold. So all of you people here on this call are quite capable of creating a word of mouth buzz for each other to the intended target. So you're all perfect alliances for each other. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, as in life, everything is built on feelings. So, the first impression of your booth is the most important thing, and of course, you in it. What should they feel when they look at your booth? If your jewelry is glitzy and sparkling and brilliant, so should your booth be. They should feel that way. If you want them to be beautiful, you should find some way to make that booth make them feel beautiful. If it's a skincare and it's beautiful, you should show beautiful women or whatever, or a mirror or something to make them feel that way. So, how they feel is one of the first things with the first impression. The second thing that's most important is not only the feeling, but can you engage them into coming in to find out more? What are you going to do to engage them? So, clarity is the most important part of that. Clearly, you should be able to figure out within 3 seconds what it is that's being sold, the action that you need to take, and whether you want it or not. And people will either stay or they will go right on past. So you have 3 seconds to get their feelings attached, to make it a benefit of something they're curious about, and for them to come in and engage with you so you can build the relationships. So that's the first impressions. And so this clarity and the first impressions are where you're starting. So as you're building that booth, I want you to consider, how are you going to get them to commit to that relationship? So there are various ways that you're going to get them to commit. Because remember, selling the product is great and it would be wonderful if you did all day. However, the most important part other than that is for them to engage in talking with you afterward for a one-on-one, to being part of their life so they will continue to work with you. So that's really important. So how are you going to engage them? First of all, you're not going to sit behind the table. We gave you chairs in case you got tired, but the concept is to come up front, to smile, to have fun, to smile, to make it feel like you want to be there, to greet them with a smile. Would you work with or buy from someone that didn't smile? I don't think so. And hopefully you wouldn't have a piece of lettuce in your mouth either. So again, don't be eating while you're doing this. In fact, don't make that obvious that you are eating at all, because you want to be engaging with them. So as they come by, you are going to try through commonalities to get them to talk to you. And I would suggest a list of maybe 6 questions that you can ask them. Some of them would be, what type of jewelry do you love? If jewelry's your thing. Or another one would be, how have you found the best whatever it is you're selling? Or what is your biggest challenge when, and add what it is for your business. What do you love about whatever it is you want them to know? Tell me what you love to do in your spare time. You want to build a relationship. That's what it's all about. And the more commonalities that you can get out of them, the better. Remember, it's commonalities, communicating the commonalities, committing to work together, contributing to that relationship, and then getting collaboration of actually selling that product together, and you get a glow, guided love of wholeness. So that's the getting involved with them. Then after that, you've captured, I hope you've captured information to be able to get back to them, because the follow-up will be the most important part afterwards, is to be able to follow up. So the capturing might be a basket. It could be a trip to Europe, but something has to get their name down so that you can literally call them back. So to recap, here is exactly what it is that we're talking about. So the purpose of this whole thing is to recap. The purpose is to engage, to build the relationship, and to have fun. First impressions, both your appearance and the appearance of your booth, and to smile, to enjoy yourself, to be there for fun. What is the feeling of your booth? What are they going to feel when they see it? And the clarity of the booth. Can they know your intended feeling and the action that they have to do next? Engaging the passerbys when you talk to them, are your questions that you can bring up that will actually get them involved in what it is that you're selling. Then get a capture contact system, whether it's signing in to be part of a raffle, whether it's just that they want more information. You need to capture who they are so you can talk to them afterwards. And then talking to people is really, sorry about that. Talking to the people, it's not behind the table. You need to actually be out front. So keep that in mind. Commonalities, build on relationships, smile, have fun. That's what it's all about. So now go back and know your vendors. That's important. Know the vendors and be able to talk with them. Build that rapport. uh, remember, they are targeting the same audience. Maybe you can have a workshop together. Maybe it's ladies' night out. Maybe it's a spa night. Maybe it's could be a panel of different kinds of businesses targeting women. There are all kinds of ways to do that. And by the way, that's what I do, is to help dyads of alliances or groups of alliances to figure out what they could do together and to literally build that team so that you are more workable together. So you've gotten the things that we're going to talk about, that you're going to think about with your booth. Now I would like you to consider what's really going to happen on that day. 7 o'clock is your setup. 8:30, be done by 8:30. 9 o'clock, everybody comes in. The setup will allow you to pull up to the driveway, to let off your things, and then to go park. I will be getting you all of that in the note part in on the Facebook. Are there any questions? Okay. Since I'm pre-recording this, there will be no questions. Just remember, you're there to engage, to have commonalities, get their feelings going, to build the relationship, and in building the relationship, you're going to have fun. You're going to have fun. That's the important thing, to have fun. I look forward to meeting each one of you in person. And if you have any questions at all, you can text me at 480-708-1557, or Jackie, JACQUE, at Network Builders, with an S, Arizona, all spelled out.com, or right there on our little chat part. So make it a great day. I look forward to seeing you, and please consider yourself a vital part of unleashing the brilliance of Women Leadership Conference. Thank you so much.